Hello, friends, and welcome into the Cowboys Report presented by Chat Sports. We start with some news and rumors. At the top, we begin with Orlando Scandrick backing Dez Bryant. Folks are giving this one 4 stars because Orlando Scandrick did indeed support Dez Bryant. Scandrick went on undisputed last week, and unlike Bryce Butler, didn't fall for Skip Bayless's baiting about the wide receiver position. Scandrick supported Dez Bryant, said, "I'm not ready to jump off the Dez ship yet." That, folks, is why Scandrick is one of the top leaders on the Cowboys, even though he may not be on the team next year, but he did indeed support Dez Bryant. All right, folks, I am Tom Downey. Follow me on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney for all the latest Cowboys news and rumors, which is what this show is all about. We're taking you through some of the more notable news and rumors out there, and at the end of the show, we'll also take you through some notable players who could be cut. But back to those rumors as we look up to the defensive side of the ball one more time. Could Kris Richard come to the Cowboys? This was one of the more late-breaking rumors on today's show, with Richard visiting the Cowboys on Sunday per ESPN. But the question is, will he join the Cowboys staff? If he does, there are 2 potential positions to keep an eye out for. Number 1 is just as the defensive backs coach. That's what Richard was before he joined the Seahawks as the DC. He was the Seattle cornersback coach. And then for the other position for the Cowboys, could he join as the defensive coordinator? It could be a Rod Marinelli, Matt Eberflus type situation. Remember, Matt turned down the chance to be the DC. Could the Cowboys offer a similar offer to Kris Richards to have him come over, be the DC, and move Rod Marinelli into the assistant head coach role and let Richard become the DC while Marinelli hangs out for another year, offers some support, and coaches the defensive line? Well, it's 2 stars for a reason. Keep an eye on it. But if this does happen, I think it would make Cowboys fans very, very excited. All right, folks, let's get to our next rumor. Jason Witten to the Pro Bowl. This one is indeed happening, folks. Witten has been named as the replacement for Zach Ertz. This will be Jason Witten's 11th Pro Bowl in his NFL career. And in the end, this might just end up being his last one. Now, you see 4 stars. Maybe you're wondering what the stars mean. Here's the explanation here for the rumor-o-meter. 0 stars, Eagles Super Bowl rings. It's still 0, although we might have to change that, so we'll check back in a couple weeks on that front. 1 star means there is a small shred of truth. 2 stars means the people are talking. 3 stars means it's pretty likely. And 4 stars means that, yes, Dez Bryant did indeed catch it. So that's what the rumor-o-meter means. So you see those stars, that's what it means. Let's get back to some more rumors here, folks. Number 4. Jason Garrett can't make in-game adjustments. This one coming in, not from the fans, which has been said many a time, but in particular from Terrell Owens, the former Cowboys wide receiver. He went on a bit of a Twitter rant and didn't really hold back about Jason Garrett, said he can't adjust and that he calls the same plays. And it's worth mentioning, folks, that Jason Garrett has blown 19 first-half leads in his time as the Cowboys coach, 4 of them coming this year. The reason it's only 3 stars? Well, it's not just Jason Garrett. It's the rest of the coaching staff as well, and Garrett's not the one calling the plays as well. I think that's worth pointing out. That's Scott Linehan, but it's 3 stars because it's pretty likely that Jason Garrett isn't great at making adjustments. Speaking of Jason Garrett, is he gone if the Cowboys miss the playoffs? This is not the first time we've mentioned this on the show, but it's popped up once again on Twitter from Mike Fisher, and it also seems pretty likely. If the Cowboys miss the playoffs next year, don't expect Jason Garrett to be the head coach again. Now, the only reason it's not 4 stars is what happens if Dak Prescott and or Ezekiel Elliott or other key players get hurt again? Will the Cowboys give Jason Garrett a bit of a pass and give him 1 more year? That's the scenario in which I see the Cowboys missing the playoffs and Garrett being retained, but I don't really think that's likely, and that's why it's 3 stars, because it is pretty likely if the Cowboys miss the playoffs next year that Garrett's gone. Speaking of possibly being gone, how about Anthony Hitchens and the Indianapolis Colts? This one just makes so much sense. Remember, folks, Matt Eberflus is going to be the defensive coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts, and they happen to have a huge need at linebacker. Anthony Hitchens can get more money and more playing time if he goes and joins the Indianapolis Colts than if he stays with the Dallas Cowboys. Now, maybe the Colts go elsewhere. Maybe Hitchens wants to stay in Dallas. But I think it's pretty likely that you see Hitchens next year in a Colts jersey, which would mean linebacker is a huge need for the Dallas Cowboys. All right, so we're 6 rumors in, and we're not done yet. Let's get to number 7. Could Adrian Peterson replace Alfred Morris? It seems like every year here in Cowboys Nation we hear, hey, is this the year that Peterson joins the Cowboys? And don't get your hopes up there, folks. We're giving this one just 1 star because there is a small shred of truth to it. Every year we hear the connection between AD and the Cowboys. He wants to come back to Dallas, and he's a fan of the Cowboys. Jerry Jones, of course, loves him. But remember, Peterson is still under contract with the Cardinals, and does he really want to be a backup? That has not been Peterson's MO since he's been in the NFL. He doesn't want to play second fiddle, and that's exactly what he would be to Ezekiel Elliott. And with the way Rod Smith has played, Peterson might kind of be the third back because he's not going to play a lot on third down. So I don't think this is the last time we'll hear this rumor, but don't expect it to happen. We're giving it just 1 star. All right, next up on our rumor-o-meter, did the Cowboys pass on Nick Foles? We're giving this one 2 stars because it's kind of sort of true, but not totally true. So the Cowboys did originally pass on Nick Foles. Jerry Jones said Foles isn't an option back in 2016 because the team liked Kellen Moore as the backup. That did not turn out very well. But when Kellen Moore went down, the team did have talks with Nick Foles when Moore was hurt. And now it comes back up that, oh, well, maybe the Cowboys didn't want him at all. It's a partial truth here because the Cowboys, I think, had Foles accepted an offer because they did talks with the agent, he would have been the backup. In the end, it kind of worked out pretty well because the Cowboys went with Dak Prescott, and now he is the team's franchise quarterback, despite what some of you like to think in the comments section. All right, our last rumor of the day. Are Cowboys fans actually cheering for the Eagles in Super Bowl 52? Unfortunately, there are some Cowboys fans who are rooting for Philadelphia. Now, part of this stems because they don't want the Patriots to win. Some of this stems because they don't want they're cheering for NFC East overall. But please, fans, let's not cheer for Philadelphia. For starters, I really don't have to change our 0 for the rumor-o-meter segment because right now it's Eagles Super Bowl rings, and they've got 0. So let's not cheer for Philadelphia. Plus, I kind of don't want to deal with Eagles fans if they win the Super Bowl at long last. So 2 stars because, yes, there are some who are doing it. But for the most part, the Cowboys fans are smart enough to know to not cheer for Philadelphia.